Good afternoon to all my students. Today's topic is Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. So here we are. The act which involves the laws to control and regulate the medical termination of pregnancy act is known as a medical termination of pregnancy act. This act extends to the whole of India. पूरे इंडिया में फैला हुआ है और जैसे कि प्रीवियस भी हमने पढ़ा था कि जो भी लॉस एंड ऑर्डर्स हैं डेफिनेटली वो तभी लागू होता है जब एज पर द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल गैजेट पे नोटिफाइड होता है. इट शैल कम इनटू फोर्स ऑन सच डेट as the central government may by notification in the official gazette. So here we are with the definitions, specific definitions regarding medical termination of pregnancy act. Guardian. What do you mean by the term guardian? Guardian का मतलब यहाँ पे क्या है? Guardian means a person having the care of the person of a minor or a mental ill person. जो मेंटली इल पर्सन है उसकी केयर करने की जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है वो होती है टुवर्ड्स ए गार्जियन. वो जो मेंबर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल है टू टेक केयर ऑफ ए मेंटली इल पर्सन, दैट पर्सन इज नोन एज ए गार्जियन, एक्ट एज ए गार्जियन. Here we are with mentally ill person. Mentally ill person means definitely those persons which possess mental disorders, mental retardation. Minor. Minor means a person who under the provisions of the Indian Majority Act is to be deemed not to have attained his majority. Minor means उसने अपनी मेजॉरिटी हासिल की नहीं है. रजिस्टर्ड मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर. डेफिनेटली यू विल नो that registered medical practitioner means a medical practitioner who possesses any recognized medical qualifications as declined in clause of section 2 of the Indian Medical Council Act 1956, whose name has been entered in a state medical register and has an experience or training in field of gynecology and obstetrics as may be prescribed by rules under this act. Obvious बात है when we talk about a medical termination of pregnancy act, तो जब मेडिकल टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी एक्ट की बात करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली हियर जो माइनर और मेजर और मेंटल पर्सन है, माइनर मेंटल पर्सन्स, डेफिनेटली दैट कैंडिडेट इज a female candidate. So definitely here as a registered medical practitioner also will be a female candidate. So he or she who is a medical practitioner is she will be a gynecologist or obstetrics. ठीक है. So here we are with the medical practitioner of pregnancy by registered medical practitioners. Pregnancy may be terminated by a registered medical practitioners अगर कभी हमें प्रेगनेंसी को टर्मिनेट करना है तो इसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल जो प्रैक्टिशनर्स हैं वो होंगे रजिस्टर्ड मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर्स. देयर इज अ फॉलोइंग केसेस जैसे where the length of the pregnancy does not exceed 12 weeks. Length of the pregnancy does not exceed 12 weeks. If such medical practitioners where the length of the pregnancy exceeds 12 months means एक ऑप्शन है कि लेंथ ऑफ द प्रेगनेंसी डज नॉट एक्सीड्स 12 मंथ और एक ऑप्शन ये भी हो सकता है कि इट शुड एक्सीड 12 मंथ्स but does not exceed 20 weeks. Exceed 12 months but does not exceed 20 weeks. If not less than two registered medical practitioners are of opinion formed in good faith that the continuance of the pregnancy would involve a risk to the life of the pregnant woman, to her physical or mental health. There is a substantial risk that if the child were born, it would suffer from such physical or mental abnormalities as to be seriously handicapped. इसीलिए रजिस्टर्ड मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर्स से ही प्रेगनेंसीज की मॉनिटरिंग होनी चाहिए. अगर डेफिनेटली मेंटली इल पर्सन्स है, माइनर पर्सन्स है, तो केसेस हो सकती हैं कि देयर वुड बी ए रिस्क अगर बच्चा होता है तो डिलीवर होता है तो. सो टू मेक फ्री फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर केसेस definitely to free from suffering mental abnormalities डेफिनेटली हमें एक रजिस्टर्ड मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर्स से चेकअप कराना चाहिए. मेडिकल टर्मिनेशन ऑफ pregnancy by registered medical practitioners. Explanation first explanation क्या है? Where any pregnancy is alleged by a pregnant woman to have been caused by rape, the anguish caused by such pregnancy shall be presumed to constitute a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant woman. पहला explanation ये है कि pregnancy is caused by rape. The anguish caused by such pregnancy shall be presumed to constitute a grave injury. So जिसने वो काम किया है वह responsible persons, anguished persons constitute a grave injury. ऐसे माना जाता है कि constitute a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant women. Second explanation ये है कि where any pregnancy occurs as a result of failure of any device or method used by any married woman or husband for the purpose of limiting the number of children, the anguish caused by such unwanted pregnancies may be presumed to constitute a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant woman. आप समझ गए होंगे कि पहले वाले केस में किसी ने उस फीमेल का रेप किया है और उसके कारण जो प्रेगनेंसी कॉज होगी तो डेफिनेटली उसके लिए जो पर्सन रिस्पॉन्सिबल था दैट विल बी constituted as a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant women. Similarly, second explanation में यह है कि pregnancy occurs due to the result of a failure of any device or methods. तो उसके लिए जो भी anguish caused by such unwanted pregnancies may be presumed to constitute a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant woman. Second, to determine whether the continuance of a pregnancy would involve such risk of injury to the health as is mentioned, no pregnancy of a woman who has not attained the age of 18 years or who has attained the age of 18 years is a mentally ill person terminated except with the consent in writing of her guardian. Means in consent of her writing of her guardian, अगर उस इंडिविजुअल पर्सन्स की एज 18 ईयर्स से कम है या फिर 18 ईयर्स से ज़्यादा है लेकिन सी इज ए मेंटली इल पर्सन्स, तो डेफिनेटली इन दैट केस termination of pregnancy is accepted only by the consent in writing of her guardian. Place where pregnancy may be terminated. Place where pregnancy may be terminated. तो उस केस में कहाँ कहाँ प्रेगनेंसी को टर्मिनेट किया जा सकता है? डेफिनेटली ये हॉस्पिटल्स set up by state or central government, or maintained by a government, a place for the time being approved for the purpose of this act by the government or a district level committee constituted by that government with the chief medical officer, CMO or district health officers as the chairperson of the said committee. The time being approved for the purpose of this act by government of a district level committee written by that government with the chief medical officers or district health officer as the chairman of the said committee. These are all the places where pregnancy may be terminated. So, here we are with the power to make rules. The central government, who has the power to terminate the pregnancy, who has the power to formulate all these to control and regulate law and orders to terminate the medical pregnancies. The central government may by notification in the official gazettes make rules to carry out the provisions of this act. Central government by means of notification in the official gazettes के थ्रू जब नोटिफिकेशन हो जाएगा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एन ऑफिशियल गैजेट्स तो थ्रू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, तब ये रूल्स का प्रोविजंस फॉलो होगा, उस डेट से वो प्रोविजन फॉलो होगा. In particular and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing powers, such rules may provide for all or any of the following matters: the experience or training or both, which a registered medical practitioner shall have if he intends to terminate any pregnancy under this act. और दूसरा केस ये हो सकता है कि इन सच मैटर are required to be or may be provided by rules made under this Act. So definitely, these are all the powers to make a rules. Basically, central government may notified in the official gazette, and from such date onwards to carry out the provisions of this act were made or followed. Here we are. Power to make rules. State government may by regulations require any opinions of a registered medical practitioners concerned in such form as and at such time as may be specified in such regulations. Preservation of disposal of such certificates, preservation of और disposal of such certificates, ये सारी चीज़ें regulate होती हैं by the provisions of central government, by the opinion of state government, requires any registered medical practitioners who terminates a pregnancies to give intimations of such terminations and other informations related to the termination as may be specified in such regulations, prohibit the disclosure except to such purposes as may be specified in such regulations of intimations given or informations furnished in pursuance of such regulations. The intimations given and the information furnished in pursuance of regulations made by virtue of clause of subsection shall be given furnished as the case may be to the CMO, Chief Medical Officers of the state, and any persons who willfully contravenes or willfully fails to comply with the requirements of any regulations made under subsection shall be liable to be punished with fine which may extend up to 1000 rupees. Means any persons who willfully contravenes और willfully fails contravenes होता है या fail होता है to comply with the basic objectives requirements of any regulations shall be liable to be punished और फाइन कितना लग सकता है इट में एक्सटेंड्स अप टू 1000 रुपीज़ 1000 रुपये तक जुर्माना लग सकता है अगर वो कोई नियमों को पालन नहीं करता है. Intimations and informations furnished in pursuance of regulations shall be given or furnished by CMO, Chief Medical Officers of the state. So these are all about the powers to make regulations in case of a medical termination and pregnancy act. We have studied today about a medical termination of pregnancy act. इसकी हमने that act extends to whole of India. Laws and orders to control medical termination of pregnancy known as a medical termination of pregnancy act, and further we have extended towards specific definitions regarding guardians, minors, mentally ill persons, फिर हमने what are the rules and responsibilities, how we will conduct termination pregnancy act इसके बारे में पढ़े हैं. And then some powers to make regulations of a medical termination pregnancy act. हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में we shall move study about right to information act. So for today, thank you.